Holy snap, the new Mario game looks like it's going to be pretty fun. Now I really need to get myself a Switch. But anyway, oh gosh, the storm that is coming out of that. It looks great. Us gamers are going to love it, especially Nintendo fans. They're going to love the new Mario game, guarantee it. But then you get SJWs who are going to crawl out of the woodwork and yell cultural appropriation because Mario, the Italian plumber from a Japanese country, is going to appropriate culture. Yeah, I don't get it either. This whole idea of cultural appropriation, especially when you want to talk about it in gaming, is just mind-boggling to me on how they can even... how their apparent understanding of things, they feel that they understand it, they know it or something, but go ass backwards on how things work. Oh, you know what? Makes my head hurt just trying to think of how they even do or say or talk about some of the things that they talk about, thinking it's a big to-do, big deal or whatnot. But anyway, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Mario was sighted wearing a poncho and a sombrero and a guitar. And he is now culturally appropriating Mexican culture or Hispanic culture, whatever it is they're going to go with and what they're saying. But apparently he's appropriating it. And what these people don't seem to understand is culture in general, which is beyond me, because apparently if you pick up on something the culture does and you like it, and then you say make it, take it, whatever, and have your own, like, for example, you like sushi. Sushi comes from, say, Japan, or at least that's what most people will immediately jump to. Sushi, Japan. You go home, you make sushi. Suddenly you're culturally appropriating Japanese culture. Yes, that's the mindset of how these people go through to get this, and because you're appropriating Japanese culture by making sushi, and you're not Japanese, that's pretty much a sin in their book. I mean, honestly, I would rather deal with Bible thumpers, because I'm okay with them if they're going to yell at me, you know, God hates fags or whatever. That's fine. They want to sit there and say that. That's okay. There more power to them, but then I don't see them actively going out of their way to tweet at Nintendo going, how could you culturally appropriate? Mario's a racist, blah, blah, blah. Seriously? Mario's a racist. He is practically literally Hitler at this point to these people. Not actual Hitler. There's a difference. Actual Hitler is not as bad as literally Hitler. Trust me. Apparently that's the thing. But seriously, these people don't understand how culture works. For example, you got Culture A and Culture B. Culture A has made advancements in medical science. Culture B has made advancements in energy consumption and creation. We'll just go with that. And Culture A and B have never met. Suddenly, Culture A and B meet. They exchange ideas. They exchange technologies. Culture B gives teaches them how to harness the power of, solar energy more efficiently than we do now. Meanwhile, Culture A shares their medical technology with Culture B. Now, to them, because this has happened, Culture A is culturally appropriating B, while Culture B is culturally appropriating Culture A, and that's a big no-no. In reality, in the grand scope of things, what has happened is a great thing, because both Culture A and Culture B are benefiting from their cultural exchange of things, ideas, technology, whatever else, preparing food, this, that, and the other. It's called cultural exchange. But, apparently, to them it's cultural appropriation. Therefore, it needs to be stopped, which then would say Culture A and Culture B meet, get yelled at for being culturally appropriating the other one, or in fears of doing so, and then it stifles the development of both cultures. Neither one learns from the other, neither one helps the other, neither one takes or does anything or innovates on what the other has done, and therefore you have stifled creativity, you've stifled innovation, you've stifled inventing things, you've just stifled a lot of things because you're afraid of culturally appropriating this country, or this culture. And that is just the most ridiculous idea I've ever heard. Cultural exchange is a good thing. Just because I'm white and I like Chinese food and I decide to make Chinese food in my house, I'm banned from doing so because I might culturally appropriate Chinese culture. I need to go find me somebody from China to make my Chinese food. That's ridiculous. Just the idea of that, totally ridiculous. So Mario is now culturally appropriating Mexicans because he's wearing a sombrero. No, if anything, culture, that would be more of... There's a word I'm looking for and I honestly can't remember. I hate it when this happens. I really need to start writing stuff down. But anyway, it's not cultural appropriation. You've got cultural exchange. You like to visit cultures, learn from them, take things that what works, not take things that aren't good, and use them, and then they do the same to your culture. They take what works, they don't take what doesn't work, and eventually everything becomes a nice homogenized society where everybody is benefiting from one another's culture. Because this culture's figured this out, this culture didn't know about it, this culture takes it, makes this culture better. Meanwhile, this culture over here takes something else that this culture's been doing, makes their stuff better, whether it's, hydroponics or farming or, the invention of something. They pay to get their hands on it and start using it. You get things like cell phones, TVs, computers. And if we were too busy appropriating cultures, we could miss out on a lot of things instead of appreciating cultures. That's the word I was looking for, appreciation of a culture. Just because you're sitting there, you may do a Halloween costume, and you're part of a mariachi band because you're not. Oh, which is funny because never mind, this is not gonna that's not gonna work because there was a Hispanic in some college somewhere like a year ago who made some news things because he was dressed up as a mariachi. He's from Mexico, and that was cultural appropriation. Then again, we also have Canada, who's got a professor yelling cultural appropriation for a dish that Canada practically invented. They did invent. It's a Canadian dish created in Canada. And then that's apparently cultural appropriation if Canada then makes and serves said dish that they created. And that is how backwards these people are who are yelling cultural appropriation, literal Nazi Hitler Mario. Anyway, it's all hogwash. Really is. It's ridiculous and it's great for a laugh, but other than that, serves no purpose. These people are not going to buy the game, more than likely, or they are going to buy the game anyway, and then just not tell their friends that they're playing the insidiously racist Mario game. But either way, I really hope Nintendo pretty much tells them, go F yourself, nobody cares, and does it anyway, because I'd really hate it if they cut content from a game. Because then again, it may not actually be in the game. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, point is, if they cut something out because these people are complaining, that's when we, the consumer who actually play these games, suffer. And people need to speak out about it. They need to go ahead and tell them, look, you know what? You're stupid. You're asinine. Sit down and go somewhere else. Let us play our games. Let us enjoy our games. You butt out of it. Anyway, that's about all I got to say on that one. Talk to you later.